And welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. We have taken down the second of the three gates, and we're going to go after the third one. I'm going to let them talk first. Okay, so they got a plan going. And we're gonna go take another visit back to these bastards. I'm gonna be honest with you people. I know the story of this game pretty well, but a lot of that crap that those dudes floating around in that ball were just talking about didn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm really thrown off by that. Okay, we're gonna go down deep under the ocean in an attempt to get at the third surface gate. There are actually 4 gates, but one of them's on Solaris, so we're not gonna be able to get to that until we finish all this stuff. Now this gate we're going after is deep under the ocean, but in order to get to it, we have a problem. It's too frickin' deep. So we can't just dive with our gears down there, and the Yggdrasil isn't a good enough submarine to get down that deep. So what we're going to do is go to the Thames and talk to the captain about using their technology to get down that deep. Damn screw elevator. Thing keeps coming back to haunt me. Okay, now we have, very quickly mind you, had the captain of the Thames order his people to reinforce our gears, make them stronger to survive that kind of water pressure. Now, he did it very quickly. I mean, basically go up there, talk to him, and by the time we leave the room, it's done. So I don't know what the hell they did. But, okay, that was weird. But apparently, they did it, and we're now clear to go down super deep, and basically, it's crazy. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I think it's one of the shortcomings of the game, but they couldn't really spend a lot of time us hanging around the Thames or doing something else while they set up the gears, because it would have been a little bit too distracting. Now I'm going down to the gear dock so I can tune up the gears. Now, I only actually tuned up 3 gears, the gears that I was going to take on this mission. Obviously, Faye is one of them, but I'm going to take Rico and Maria down on this mission. They're both big gears, and they have a lot of attack power, even if they're kind of slow. It's going to be a rather short mission, so I don't really worry about them running out of fuel by repairing too much or anything like that, so we'll be fine. Plus, I want to mix up the characters I use a little bit. I haven't used Rico a lot recently, so I'm going to put him down there. And I tend to want to use Maria a lot in the gear battles because her gear is very powerful. Okay, now I go over to Sigurd and tell him that we're going to go down Sargasso, something like that. Sure, go. Now, I had another little problem with this game. Not the compiler, that's for programming. The emulator, the PlayStation emulator I've been using, does not do the next scene properly, the next part of the game. It puts this gigantic black cover over everything except for the bottom, and the game was unplayable. See, that's the problem I had. So what I did is I went around and I tried fixing the problem. As you can see what I'm doing, but it looks terrible. I went around, I installed new video plugins, I actually installed a new audio plugin, so the audio problems I've been having are a little bit better. They're still not perfect. But I tried fixing the problem, and I ended up just using the software renderer of the emulator. The problem with the software emulator is it doesn't look that good, and apparently it's neither a DirectX nor an OpenGL plugin. It must use some bizarre proprietary thing. So, Fraps would not record it. So I set Fraps to record the Windows Arrow windows, and basically I'm recording the entire screen, capturing the entire screen, and then I cropped in on the video that I'm recording. It was a really weird roundabout and not entirely attractive way of doing it, but it works. Now the gameplay in this part is very different than any other part of the game. See, you're in your gears and you're moving around, but since you're underwater, physics work a little bit differently, and you can like double jump and triple jump, and you can keep jumping. You don't have to touch the ground before you jump again, and by jumping you actually move faster. As if that makes any damn sense. Well, so you can move faster, and you face a few different kinds of enemies, only 3 of which I'm actually going to encounter during this episode. Oh, by the way, you can probably look down on the lower right part of the screen and see the timer, but this is going to be kind of a long episode, around 24 minutes. I wanted to get this all down in one episode. These enemies are irritatingly tough. They have a pretty high HP. They're not going to go down too easy, not amazingly difficult, but they'll do an annoying amount of damage before they go down. Also, before you go down, in this point in the game, make sure that you equip armor on your gears that allows them to absorb electricity damage. The micas or the insulated armor. They both work beautifully in this point in the game. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. I'm a little lazy, I don't always do that kind of thing. But, it's a good idea that I just didn't do. I eventually did it, but, not until pretty much the end of the mission. Mermaid Mail. What Mermaid Mail is armor for the women in the game, so although you can see it's not appearing on Faye's list here, but it will appear on Maria's. Of course, I'm not going to waste a good piece of armor like that on Maria, a girl that I never actually taken through normal battle. I'm going to give it to Ellie. But that's basically all we had here. There's a save point, but then you hop in the water and just go back the way you came. Make sure you jump a lot, because the more jumping you do, the faster you move. And this tunnel's the one we actually need to go down. And down this way, we'll find a little bit of a funny thing. See this thing shooting bubbles out? That's actually pushing us back. Now, that's coming from the right, and we can't go right even though that's our eventual destination. We have to go left. Problem is, it doesn't always let you get near it. And I got stuck into a battle, which I skipped over. Okay. And, didn't make it. Keep going. And, good, we're good. You go this way a little bit, and then you come out to an area where you can have a battle, which I will skip over. You come to an area where you can come back out of the water again. Right here, go to the end and you jump up to the top of the screen. You'll probably get into a battle, like always. And then you jump out of the water. I don't think you'll find battles when you're out of the water. But, Dark Rod, another Ellie weapon. This empty treasure box is the one that you actually need to open, because that will reverse the water flow on that tunnel that we can go down. The tunnel that we need to go down. Now here is... No, that was just the same kind of enemy. Now the the current in that tunnel has been reversed. So we can go down that way. Another battle I skipped over, semi-effectively. Now, at this point, I'm actually going to go and put in the insulated armor. Something I should have done a while before. Now we go this way through the tunnel. Now, you're going to have to move through like normal, and these weeds along the walls, they don't actually do anything. They're just decoration. Looks pretty cool, though. But eventually the current moves and will suck you deeper. So you don't have to actually walk the whole way. Then it'll deposit us at the end of the tunnel, where we can jump up and get to the boss battle. It's the end of this rather short area. Now this, I think, is one of the coolest looking enemies in the game. It's relatively tough. As you can see, I'm taking quite a bit of damage getting this far. It's a relatively tough enemy, but I think it looks cool because it floats around and actually has a face. Very few of the enemies in this game have faces. Look at that. A face! It looks more like an enemy you'd find in Final Fantasy VII and Xenogears. But it's not going to provide us with too much trouble. And as far as I know, it's only capable of attacking one of your heroes at a time. Boom. Now that that's out of the way, we can go up, jump out of the water again, and we'll be face to face with the final gate, the final surface gate. We destroy that gate, and we can get to Solaris. Oh, my bad. There's a room we have to go through. Okay, now, at that point, you see the shift in the screen? The shift in the screen is me switching back to the original renderer that I was using before that looks better, the hardware accelerated plugin. Now we're at the third gate, and there's someone waiting for us. I'm gonna let him talk. Okay, now we have a battle against this rather odd-looking gear. And it doesn't have arms. That's kind of the funniest thing. By the way, I have to fix my gears before we get too far into this battle. It's funny-looking gear because it doesn't have arms, and it has these gigantic hands that look a little bit like wings on the head. And it uses those wings as basically as its arms, and attacks by that way. Not a extremely difficult boss, but can be irritating, and if you're not prepared for it, if you're not really taking the fight seriously, you could lose because she does have some rather powerful ether attacks. Now, because it's going to be a short battle, I know it's going to be a short battle, I have no problem with throwing the booster on for all three of my gears. Especially since I'm using slower gears, I don't want them to get too far behind, because this girl here will run circles around them. Now, ideally, you're going to want to use square attacks against her, because she's too fast for most of your X attacks to either hit at all. See, even that square attack is mixed. But your X attacks will probably miss or be defended. Now your square attacks will probably do just about as much damage as the X, maybe even a little bit more, but miss less often and use less fuel. Now I'm going to go for level infinity with Faye again at this point, because it looks cool. And I'll actually achieve it too. Oh, and he missed twice. Can you believe that crap? He missed twice. Twice! Unbelievable. Another audio glitch. Not as bad as it used to be. This new audio plugin I'm using is so much better, but it's still not quite right. Oh, we missed that one. But this one did some good damage. Your electric armor, before you get into this battle, you're probably better off on equipping it from your gears, because it doesn't really do you a lot of good. She uses ether attacks, but she doesn't rely solely on electrical attacks, and she uses a lot of physical attacks too. So having something that just increases your electrical defense, not the best thing in the world. Yeah, level infinity, here we go. Look at the damage! 3393, nice. Even Rico did significantly less than that. Even Maria did less than that. These level infinity attacks are powerful. And the battle's over. Really nice level up for Faye there. All three leveled up, but Faye was especially nice. Okay, we're going to take this girl with us. By the way, if you can't tell, she is the one that we found in that underground civilization that the Ethos were after, and that Curly and Bishop Stone took. But this gate is exploding, so the path to Solaris is now clear, but we're not going to go for it in this episode. It'll be in the next episode, so coming back for the next one, and see us go and take down Solaris.